What up, guys? Welcome to episode number 2 of the Expose and Expand podcast show. I'm your main star of the show, Jeremy Himothy Mathis, and my sidekick. Yeah, whatever. Welcome to episode 2, guys. Welcome to the Expose and Expand podcast show, where we expose you to the ideas, the peoples, the strategies, the struggles, the failures, and the experiences that have gotten us from zero to million. Super excited about episode number 2.
Yes.
What we talking about today? We're talking about all of our business failures and how he made us fail in all these businesses. Because you know I do everything the right way. It's your boy Jerm. Yeah, he think he does everything the right way, but it's more so about I think he does everything the right way. That's not true. Yeah. Okay. So today we talking about business failures. The way that we're going to format this show is we're going to go through all of our business failures, like every business that we actually started that failed. We're going to explain the company. We're going to tell you how much money we put into it, the type of work and the effort we had to put into it, what worked and what didn't work about the company, why it failed, and knowing what we know today, what we would do differently. So we're going to go through all of these failures, give you guys some real game that I know for a fact will be able to help you guys. But one of the things, and the reason why we wanted to do this show was because so often we see people only talk about the success, right? Nobody really talk about the failures. Nobody really talk about anything that goes bad in life. Everybody's showing a highlight reel. Nobody's showing the real. But I think it's super important that we highlight, and I'm excited to do this show because this is anyone that has done anything worth talking about. They have failures on that journey. Yeah. They have things that they've been through, experiences that for us, the experiences that we've learned on the experiences that we have. Yeah. So often you just think about, people never ever profile this. And if you're doing anything, if you're doing anything real in life, like if you're making moves, you're going to have some failures. Yeah. Everything is not going to work out the way that you want it to work out. So let's get right into it. I think let's, even before we get started, let's talk about why it's important to share these failures. I think for me, the reason why it's important to share these failures is because we get so many DMs on Instagram and our other social platforms, and we get people that just see us as like, man, you guys do everything right. Everything's working out well for you guys. And our mission on social media is to show people the real journey. And I don't think we've done a good job of that, of like highlighting all of our failures. We put a good amount of stuff out there, but I want to put more out there to let people know that everything that glitters is not gold. What y'all see on Instagram, us flipping all these houses and buying rentals and all that came with a lot of trial and error, a lot of struggles, a lot of heartache, a lot of, dang, Josh, like, why you messed up? Why you did that? Facts. So I think it's important that we put it out there and just be real with our audience and let people know that we failed a lot. We had a lot of failures. We got 1, 2, 3. We got 4 companies on here, and we only 32. Yeah, and it's more on. It should be more on there as well. So, but those are investments. We talking about companies today. You gonna throw up like you did last episode? Let's get into it, man. So, company number 1. Yeah. All right. Company number 1 was Stamp Label. So, Stamp Label was a company that we started in college. It was our first real business, like real LLC. Wasn't our first business, but it was our first real business that we had an LLC. We had a bank account, an EIN number. I remember starting it in our sophomore year. And the idea was it was a custom clothing line. You can go onto our website. You can design whatever you wanted on your shirt, hat, hoodie, whatever type of clothing that we offered at the time. You can make your own designs or pick from pre-designed clothes that we had. And you put it on whatever piece of article or clothing that you wanted to, and we shipped it to you. We thought this idea was going to blow up the world, but we were super, super excited. And that company had so many iterations of it, too, because we started as custom clothing. Yeah. And then we said, hey, after 6-7 months, this isn't working. From there, we started putting pockets on the shirt. You remember that? Yeah. So you're right. So the first part of the company was you could go on, you could design whatever you want. And then we realized that wasn't working. And then we had one pocket. We turned it into like we would sew pockets and let's sew little pocket tees on shirts. And that wasn't working. And then what we did next?
We put 2 pockets on the shirt, thinking, hey, this gonna be fly. Thinking, hey, this is what people wanted. So, let's talk about why that company didn't work. I think for me,
even before. Oh, go ahead.
I think for me, what were you going to say?
No, I wanted to talk. I wanted to let them know how much money we put into it and where we got the money from.
Okay.
Like I wanted to format and help them understand. Okay, this was the idea.
Yeah.
And then this is how much money we put in. So I don't remember how much money we put in originally, but I remember after it all being said and done, 20 bands, $20,000 into that company. And I'll say 87% of that was student loans.
It was more than that, my boy. It was about 95% of that was student loans.
A lot of that money was student loans. We bet on ourselves, and we put $20,000 into that company that eventually failed.
But the key thing too that I sometimes I want to talk about our failures, but then too the lessons along the way. One of the key lessons that I got from that is we just always been betting on ourselves.
Yeah.
That first company, we betted on ourselves. We didn't know what we was doing. Yeah. We was just, hey, let's take action, massive action, and we go out there and we gonna fail forward. And for us, we definitely did fall on our face with this business, but definitely excited that obviously we got started with it. So
and then you think about I want to like help them understand the type of work and the effort we put in to get the company off the ground. So we was taking 18-hour credits. Or 18 credit hours in college.
6 classes. You been too good. We was taking 6 classes at the time.
Yeah, 6 classes. You worked at the gym. Yep. You worked at the gym at college.
No, I was working at the gym in Lime, the restaurant.
Okay, you was working at and I was working in the dean. I was working in the dean's office because our idea was we was gonna blow Stamp Label up real big and we was gonna start a restaurant.
Yep.
So Josh went and got a job at Lime Fresh Mexican Grill, something like Chipotle. And he was working on the weekends because once the Stamp Label blew up, we in the restaurant business. We already had our next idea. Or we already had it going.
Why do you think? So let's talk about why the Stamp Label fell.
I think the number one. It was a couple reasons, but the number one reason why it failed was us. The number one reason. We had no business experience, and I'm not saying you need business experience for your business to be a success, but you think about what we did. We told nobody about the company.
Yep.
We just thought that people was gonna stumble across our website. They was just gonna know to go to stamplabel.com. We did no promotion. We did no type of marketing.
We didn't even want people to know
that we own the company.
That we own the company. Yeah. I don't know why. It was a stupid idea on our part, but we didn't want people to know that we own the company. And I think the first key lesson there is, guys, if you own something, you got to constantly be marketing and branding your stuff. You got to constantly be telling people what it is that you do. You got to be constantly saying, hey, every day, for us, expose and expand now. So every day we need to be talking about what we're doing, how we're doing it, so on and so forth.
And the reason why it's important is you as the owner, you as the founder, you as an employee of the organization needs to be the biggest cheerleader. Is because if you're not excited about it, how somebody else going to get excited about it? Because you think about it, nobody could get excited about our brand because we was excited about it internally, but nobody else knew about it. Yep. And people found out about it because they were coming to the computer lab and we had the website up. They'll come in. They're like, what you guys working on? Oh, nothing. You just think about how crazy that is and how crazy that sounds to not be telling people about your business.
What other lessons that we learned with Stamp Label? I would say another thing is not understanding your customer. Because the first iteration of the website was, hey, you can come on there, you can design whatever you want. We didn't understand our customers. Yeah. It looked cool, it sounded cool, but people don't want to come on and design something and have to figure out, okay, what I'm going to put, how I want to lay it out, what font I wanted to use, what characters, emojis, or whatever I wanted to put on the shirt. People don't want to do that. Like we live in an instant gratification society where people just want to go, oh, I like this shirt, grab it, and put it on.
Yeah. Nobody. We live in a society where everything needs to be done for you, and we didn't understand that. We just thought, well, this is a cool idea. Everybody gonna like it because we like it.
Yeah. So again, not understanding your customer. But to be honest too, though, I think because we started not understand when we started the company, we didn't understand our customers. Yeah. As we kept going on with the company, remember, first 7-8 months, we still. Matter of fact, I think it was probably up to a year. Well, we thought people wanted to go on and design something. So it took us a year to say, man, we not getting no sales. Yeah. Why we not getting no sales? Yeah. And then from there, after talking to a mentor, he was like, "You guys, if this is not working, you need to change it."
Yeah.
What other lessons do you think we learned with Stamp Label?
Definitely, we talked about marketing. We talked about not understanding our customer and that they don't want to design, make the designs.
I would say another failure too is just not
Another
understanding. Another lesson is not understanding the technology component of it. So yeah, we had a website built out, but remember when we did our first big push, the website crashed. The website crashed.
Yeah, I forgot about that.
It's not understanding the technology. How did we even build out the website?
It was a platform. They were new at the time. They were kind of like Shopify.
Yes.
But and we took something that was for a promotional marketing concept, because it was I forgot the name of the company. They do what Shopify did for promotional marketing company. Said, oh, we could use this for a custom clothing line, and that's how we built out the website. The platform wasn't even wasn't intended for what we used it for. So,
what other lessons?
I know it was more. I don't know why I'm drawing a blank. I know it was way more than that. So we talked about marketing. We talked about our customer.
Not understanding the technology, and then two, I think another thing was focus. One of the lessons I think again is we wasn't focused on it. Yeah, we spent a lot of time we was focused on activities. We wasn't focused on results.
Yeah.
It was just, oh, we need to change this. Oh, we need to add more shirts to the website.
Yeah.
Like things that
didn't matter.
That didn't really matter.
So, question for you: knowing what we know now, we've been entrepreneurs now since we were 19. We're 32. We're about to be 32 in a couple weeks. Knowing what you know now, what would you have done differently with Stamp Label?
Number one, talk to our friends. Talk to our friends and ask them, hey, what do you think about this idea?
Yeah.
Because all of our friends, swaggy, fresh, put that on.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we should, hey guys, we thinking about starting this company. What do you guys think about this idea? And I think if we would have just talked to 10 of our friends, at least nine of them would have said, yeah, it sounds cool, but I'm not getting on the internet trying to design no shirt.
Yeah.
So it's important. I think the key lesson there is it's important to have the right people around you who can give you open and honest feedback and be like, yeah, it sounds cool. I don't want to crush your dreams, but here's what I think. Here's what I think about this idea. What do you think?
Just definitely, I like that. Definitely talk to our people about the idea before we launch it. But the biggest thing is marketing. We know in business, you need leads and you need customers.
Yes.
You need leads and you need customers if you want to have a business.
Yeah.
We had no leads. We had no customers.
For a long time.
For a long, long time.
And the few customers we had was family. Let me go ahead and support
Let me go support them, boy. You remember we asked one of our uncles to give us $10,000 to buy the machine.
Yeah.
He asked us for a business plan. He was like, oh, this is a cool idea. You should support it.
Nah, man.
Definitely, I think that's one of the top things that I would do differently. With just, like, we got push it way harder than we did. So.
Well, let's talk about the next company.
The next company. So the next company is a result of the first company, Stamp Label. So Stamp Label wasn't working. And remember, guys, we started this in college. And it wasn't working. After we realized it wasn't working, we saw a need in the market. We saw a gap. And that gap was our peers on campus, they had to go out and they, like the fraternities, the sororities, the college organization, in the intramural sports, they had to go and they had to get shirts printed. But they really disliked working with the vendor that the school had approved. So we saw a market. So we was like, you know what? Let's just scrap Stamp Label. After putting $20,000 into it, let me repeat that again. We scrapped it, and then we said, you know what? We're going to start Stamp Inc. Marketing.
Yeah.
That is the big thing that we're about to do. And Stamp Inc. Marketing was a promotional marketing company. So like I said, we work with our peers on campus. We work with other businesses or other organizations on campus as well. And if you're printing like your logo, if you have a birthday party, if you're having a big organization, you need shirts, hats, T-shirts, pins created. That's what our company did. That's what Stamp Inc. Marketing.
All right. So now let's talk about why. Because I wouldn't even say we failed at that.
Yeah.
Because we started to get some momentum. We started to drive sales. We started to have, I don't want to say success because we wasn't making money, but at the same time, I think we was on the right trajectory.
Yeah.
So let's jump into it. What do you think?
For first of all, we did make money at the time. Profiting by $1,500 a month while you're in college, you're doing okay. We was making a little bit of money.
True.
You thinking about where you are now, back in college, and especially when we went to college. If you got $1,500 in your pocket every single month, you're doing all right. So this one wasn't so much of a failure, but it was a company that we learned a lot from. And one of the things that I learned about this, because number one was start a company where you don't have to if you don't have money, start a company where you don't need a lot of money. Because when we started that, we didn't need any money at all. All we needed was hustle, go out, find customers that needed shirts, that needed stuff printed, and all we did was the middleman.
Yeah.
If you think about it, we was wholesaling back in the day. You really think about it. Stampede Marketing was a wholesale company, that promotional marketing company. So
I think one lesson from that business is, again, you got to understand the industry. You got to understand the business, because when we first started, Sarah Duquesnoy, she was in charge of student affairs or something.
Yeah.
And we told her about the business, and she said, I'll give you guys an opportunity. This would be great. Students at our school, printing all the stuff for the school. That's awesome. So she gave us a shirt order, maybe 300-400 shirts, and we went to Roger.
Yeah.
And he owned at the time, we didn't know, but he owned the same type of company that we did. He was just middleman and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
And we went to him,
Yeah.
and he was like, yeah, guys, I could print the shirts for you guys. So we go ahead, we get a quote from him, we take it back to her, we give her a whole proposal. She was like, guys, I would love to work with you guys, but man, your quotes are so much more expensive than everyone else.
Yeah.
So we ended up saying, doing more research and understanding that we shouldn't have went to him to ask him to print the shirts. What we should have done was went to somebody that actually has a screen printing company, so that we can work directly with them and get and get better pricing.
Yeah, no, that was a huge thing. But I want to talk about what worked and what didn't work in that company. What worked for us in that company was, number one, we were college students. If you really think about it, we got a lot of business just because we were college students. The sororities, the fraternities, and people on campus wanted to support us. Another thing that worked, there was really a need in the market. Yeah, there were a lot of companies that was doing what we was doing, because you think about it. You had Greg's company. Yep. You had
Embroidery.
You had a couple companies that was already working with people on the college campus.
Yeah.
But people were unhappy with their service, so there was a real need there.
What else worked? I think too, we was marketing it. We was talking about it.
Yeah,
we was letting people know what we did every day. We had on the Stamp Ink marketing shirts,
we had
marketing jackets.
Yeah,
everything that we were walking billboards for the company.
Yeah,
and I think that would help us when people saw Stamp Ink marketing. They started to see. They started to see. Okay, boom. What is this? They started to ask questions.
Yeah.
So yeah.
So what didn't work about the company? I know. Number one, the margins. We was you think about it. You think we was profiting about $1,500 a month, but it was a lot of work, a lot of hustle, a lot of bustle to go out and to get customers and to compete for business. But the margins in that business sucked. And for those of you that don't know what margin is, it's essentially how much money do you make at the end of the day.
Yeah,
you got expenses and then you got profit margin. It was a low profit margin business. And that's one thing that as we grew in business, we realized, we want to stay away from those kind of businesses that have low margins, because you got to work and you got to do things in volume.
It ain't even about low margins. It is about that, but more so understanding that it's a price sensitive business.
Yeah, it is.
Because it's a commodities business.
Yeah.
Anyone can go out and print T-shirts. Anyone can go out and print cups, bags, hats, and all. Everything that we was doing. It's a price driven business. You could build relationships. You can have multiple people that you're doing business with, but at the end of the day, people are in that business. If I'm ordering shirts, I need to see, the two main factors was price and how fast can you get it to me.
Yeah, you really think about it. Yeah,
that was the drivers of the business.
Yeah.
What is the price and how fast can you get it to me?
Yeah.
Right?
That's a horrible business to be in.
Yeah, it's just price. It's price driven. What else do you think, or what other lessons that we learned from that business? What else didn't work?
Like you said, low margin, price sensitivity, I think that was it. Those are the two things that I can really think about. Anything that you could think about what didn't work?
Two, I think one thing is having someone else is in control of your destiny. Meaning,
Also,
when we ordered a shirt, we were not doing the printing. The
the
printer would say, "Yeah, man, I get it to you by Thursday,"
and you tell that to the customer.
and you tell the customer, "Yeah, I'm gonna get it to you by Friday," because the printer's telling me I'm gonna get it to you by Thursday. But what happens when the power goes out in the operation? What happens when somebody comes in that's giving them more business?
Yeah.
They push us to the back of the line.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So
That did
we're
happen
telling
a
a
couple
customer, hey, on Friday, you're going to expect your shirt.
Yeah.
Friday come for the event on Sunday, and you ain't got no shirts, or you ain't got no hats, or whatever that they're asking for.
Well, luckily, we never really fell into that. But we almost did a couple times, and we had to pay extra. When we already didn't have any margin, we had to pay extra, like, please get this done for us. Because I think the good thing that you and I have understood for the longest in business, customer service.
Yeah.
And we did whatever it took to keep the customer happy. But we did have a lot of horror stories, and we did win business with Stamp Inc. marketing by people who got tired of using one person because they never delivered on time, and they came to us.
Yeah.
So we got a lot of business from that.
And with you saying that, though, it reminded me of the fact that we once we saw that other people were having that problem, meaning that they couldn't deliver to their customer on time, we started to tell if our suppliers told us Wednesday, we would tell the customer the following Monday that they should expect their order.
We underpromise and overdeliver for sure.
And that's key. That's one of the big lessons in business, right? You don't want, especially if you're not in control of your supply chain, you want to make sure that you let your customers know, hey, if your supplier is telling you one day, you need to give yourself some lead time, some lag time.
So I want to talk about, knowing, just going through the format, knowing what you know now, and all your business experience, what would you have done differently with Stamp Inc. marketing?
Number one, go big early.
What you mean?
Go big. Go after the big customers.
Yeah,
Printing
right.
30, 40, 50 shirts, you're not making any money.
Right.
How do we find a customer that's going to give us 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, 5,000 shirts or bags, pens? Because one of our mentors always say, you put the same energy it takes to get that small order, the same energy it takes to get that big order. So why not go big? No. So I think that was one of that's one thing I would do differently. Instead of trying, yes, it's cool doing it for the sororities and everyone around campus, but how do we find that customer that's going to give us that 1,000 shirt or that 1,000 bag or that 1,000 hat order?
Yeah.
What would you say?
I would have never started a company. You just think about it, how low margin of a business that was. Like you said, it was driven by price and how fast you can get it to me. All of the stress that we put on ourselves to make a little bit of money. Somebody give you an order on Monday, I really need this by Thursday. We do that now. We do that now with our stuff when we need stuff printed. We go on Tuesday. Can you get it to me Thursday, please, 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 please?
Yeah.
So just think about how you're running a business.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even have, knowing what I know now, I wouldn't even gotten into the business. It's too low of a margin, and it's not a good business to me. It's not a good business. So,
anything else with Stamp Inc? Or we could keep rolling?
Now let's keep rolling. So the reason why we stopped Stamp Label was because it was working, and we got tired of putting money.
Stamp Label was not working.
Yeah, it was not working. I'm sorry, it was not working. We was putting money into it. It wasn't working. So that's why we pivoted to Stamp Inc. marketing. Stamp Inc. marketing, we was making like $1,500 a month, thinking we doing it, and then we get a call from somebody, Lopez. Hey guys, let's start a cleaning company. And the reason why I wanted it, because I want to go through the progression, help people understand what happens. So with Stamp Label, it wasn't working. We put money in. We pivoted. We went to Stamp Inc. marketing. We was making a little bit of money. Somebody opened our eyes and said, hey, guys.
But hold on. Even with Stamp Label, the key lesson was, yes, it wasn't working, but it took having mentors to show us that it wasn't working. Yeah, because you think about it. If our mentors didn't say, guys, what are you doing? Yeah, we would have just kept going, spinning on that hamster wheel. So the key lesson there is having mentors and having people that care enough about you that's going to come to you and say, yo, I love what you guys are doing. I love the enthusiasm, but guys, this isn't working. Yeah, let's keep moving, get to the next direction. Yeah. So I think that was the key lesson from what one of the things that helped us move forward from Stamp Label. And then, like you said, with Stamp Inc. marketing, is being a price-driven business,
Yep.
but having somebody that loved us and cared enough about us to say, guys, that's cool, that Mickey Mouse business y'all running, but let's start a real business, something that we can grow, scale, and operate.
And there in comes Dr. Clean, RX.
Yep.
Got to put the RX.
But first, remember, it was Dental Clean. You don't remember that? It was Dental Clean.
It was Dental Clean?
It was remember, my boy, I got the shirt right now in the office.
Oh,
it was
yes,
Dental Clean.
It was. Okay.
Dental Clean
so
first.
we named it Dental Clean. And then because the concept was we were going to focus on cleaning dental offices. And then as we started getting more clients.
It wasn't even getting more clients. I remember when we had the shift to say like, hey, I don't even care about not saying we want to focus specifically on dental, but when we was working with Mike Parker, we was at an office building.
Yeah.
We was at one of his customers' building, and we was like, there's a doctor office here, there's a gastroenterologist here, there's this doctor there, and they're all in one business. So why
one
should
building
in one building? Why are we just focusing on dentists?
Yeah.
Why not focus on any and everyone that needs service in the medical or dental profession?
Yeah.
So that's at that moment. You don't remember that? We was walking with Mike Parker.
I remember that.
It was in Boca.
And let's really break. We was walking with Mike Parker, and we had this idea to only clean dental offices.
Yeah.
Right? But then we got exposed to, we're looking at this the wrong way.
Yeah.
There are buildings that are just dedicated to medical facilities, dentists, GIs, OBGYNs. Why are we just only saying we're gonna focus on dental?
Yeah.
Let's just focus on medical.
Yeah.
So you think about exposure with somebody else who had experience to show like, hey guys, here's the opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So we was doing stamping marketing, and we got a call from our mentor, Lopez, and he was like, bro, this was if you remember in episode 1, I talked about I interned from him and I crushed him. He wanted to hire me, and I said no. He called me one day, said, let's start a business. This is the business that we started. It started off as Dental Clean, then we called it Dr. Clean. And essentially what the idea was, we were going to go out and add extra services that other cleaning companies would not do. And we were going to charge a premium for that, because most cleaning companies, they are either huge franchises or small mom and pops. And we saw a need in the market where in the dental offices, people wasn't cleaning the equipment. So we said, you know what, we're going to clean the equipment and we're going to charge a premium for that, because it really was a need.
Yeah.
You go to your dental office, touch the top of the light, see how dusty it is.
Yep.
It was a need there, right? So we had this idea, we're going to go out and clean dental offices, and then the idea was we're going to prove the concept.
Yeah.
And then we was gonna go out and franchise, because our mentor / business partner Lopez, he's a franchising guru. He understands franchising at the highest level. He already had like 3 franchise companies at that time, so we saw a huge vision.
Yep.
Like, oh my God, we finna go start a big franchise company.
Yeah.
Let's go slave and let's go clean these offices.
Yeah. So that to me, man, those were fun times.
Yeah, it was.
We learned so much on the journey, seeing how business is supposed to be operated, getting exposed to somebody who was already running multiple 7- and 8-figure businesses.
Yep.
So that was a benefit from that company. But then too, man, we was slaving, boy.
Yeah.
Sleeping in offices.
Well, before we even go there, let's talk about how much money we put into the company.
Yeah.
When we first started, we put $10,000 along with Lopez. We put $10,000 into that business, and
Sure? Did we put money in? I don't think we put money.
Okay, yeah,
in.
you're right.
We didn't
you're
put
right.
no money in.
It was $10,000,
Yeah.
and I'm pretty sure Lopez put the money in. So it was $10,000, and that was to go start the company, go get shirts, go get the equipment, whatever else you guys need. Make $10,000 work and go grow this company.
Yeah.
We put $10,000 in, and just let's talk about the type of work and effort we put in to go and grow the customer base. That was, like you said, it was fun, but it was so stressful. The way we went out and got customers that because we learned, you got to market, you got to be out there. We learned from the other 2 companies.
Yeah.
The way that we went and got customers, that boy had the luxury of sitting at home and cold call the dental office.
No. Let's take it back. Remember, the first 2 weeks, my boy, we put the addresses in Google Maps. I was driving. Oh, you would get out the car, go try to pitch the doctor and say, hey, man, we have this cleaning service, so on and so forth. But again, we talked to Lopez, got exposed, And he was like, guys, you're spinning your wheels. You're not being efficient. Why are both of you guys going to the doctor's office? You don't need both of you guys there.
Yeah.
So you started mapping out, going and knocking on doors, and then I was at home on the phone calling as many offices as I could.
Yeah, so let me give you even more perspective and let me draw this out for you guys. So in where we lived at, we have a lot of where we were doing business is a lot of main streets. Most dental offices are on Main Street.
Yep.
So every day I would just pick a main street and just go from all the way as far west as I could and go all the way east.
Yep.
I'm talking about from the Everglades all the way to the beach.
Yeah.
I'll just be driving. It wasn't really no plan. I just said, I'm gonna drive on this side of the road. I'm gonna go from west to east.
Yep.
And then when I hit east, I'm gonna go back west on the other side of the road
and knock on doors
and go tell people about what it is that we was doing.
Yeah.
While you had the luxury of sitting at home in the AC
and
calling the dental offices
and kept getting hung up on. You think that's a luxury? I'm calling, banging the phone, getting hung up on. Nah, we good. Yeah. So let's jump into it.
But you think about the struggle. The struggle. That was a huge struggle to go out and get customers.
Yeah.
Because again, most people, if you have a cleaning company and that's coming to your business, you're comfortable with that cleaning company. So we didn't have a well-defined sales pitch. We didn't know exactly what we were offering. We just knew, hey guys, we want to clean your office and we're gonna do a little bit extra than what the customer's gonna do. So growing that company was crazy.
Yep.
Very, very crazy.
I think let's talk about what do we learn from that. What do we learn? What are the key lessons that
before we talk, I want them to understand what we had to go through for that company.
Yeah.
So as we was growing the company, we would get customers during the day.
Yeah.
And then go clean offices at night.
Yeah.
And you think about it, we was rolling. We got rolling quick because we was really hustling to go and get customers.
Yeah.
We was working like 18 hours. Wake up early in the morning and go knock on doors. You call, and then at night I come back home, load the equipment in the car, and we go out and we start cleaning offices until we start getting employees. We did that for a long time. What happened though, which I want to shed light on, is we put in a lot of work. And what that looked like was, let's just say we live in Miami. We had customers all the way in Palm Beach. Driving to Palm Beach was a whole hour. So when we got customers in Palm Beach, we started to drive up there, clean offices, and drive home at night. And then we have to wake up the next morning and go back to Palm Beach for the next customer. And then we said, you know what? That don't make sense. What we need to do is just sleep in the car. And instead of sleep in the car, wake up so we ain't got to drive all the way back home. You think about that. We start sleeping in the car. We slept in dental offices on the floor because we just wanted to be efficient and not have to keep driving back and forth because the customers were so far.
Yeah.
You remember those days?
Man, like yesterday, but I don't remember. I don't want to remember.
No, I don't want to remember them either.
I would never go back to that.
Yeah.
I would never go back to that. So let's jump into the lesson. So I think one of the key lessons that we learned from that business is, one, it was a price-driven business.
Yep.
At the end of the day, when people, we understood what we didn't understand at the time, which we understand now, is a lot of business owners, when they sit down with their CPA and they go through their books, they start looking at where could we cut costs.
Yeah.
And then the CPA, ding, 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 why you guys paying $800, $1,000 a month for cleaning?
Yeah.
And then what would the dentist say? Yeah, guys, I know that I like you guys. You guys are doing a great service, but we found somebody that could do it for half the price. Mm-hmm. And we were, it was as we added customers, we were losing customers. What would you say is another lesson? Another lesson from that too is not having contracts in place with the customers. Because we're gonna get to this when we sold the company, but we had no contract, so we didn't lock that customer in. Yeah. We were signing a customer up, get them going, and then 6 months, 7 months in,
no contract.
You know what, guys, this is good, but I gotta use someone else.
Yeah, and the reason why we had no contracts is we thought that that was a good thing to entice the customer.
Yeah.
Oh, everybody else making you sign a contract. Come with your boys. You ain't gotta sign no contract. We gonna perform great, and we perform great.
Yeah.
And then we had employees. Yeah. You talking about what lessons we learned from that. Talk about how many people we hired and fired, because we started that company and we sold it within 18 months.
Yep. So during that time, I was in charge of hiring, and we had to hire and fire 29 people within an 18-month span.
Yeah.
One of the key lessons there too was we got to take some accountability and responsibility. We hired too late. Because we hired too late, we wasn't properly training our employees. We was growing the business so fast, adding accounts. to where we didn't properly train them. We didn't have a clear training system. We didn't have clear SOPs, operating procedures that these people could come into. It was just, hey, come in. We would clean the office with them one time. Hey, make sure one time. Think about it.
I ain't
clean the office one time,
Yeah.
and then we would leave, and then wonder why we was getting so many complaints about the offices not being clean.
It was also bad leadership on our part as well,
Mm-hmm.
because we ain't had no type of policies in place, and people will call us the people on the weekend when it's time to clean. When we got nights and weekends free now because we got these employees, they supposed to show up to work on Friday at 3 at 2:59. Yeah, guys, I'm sorry,
I can't make it.
I can't make it. Oh, why you can't make it? Some of the stories we had,
Oh
boy.
my Jesus!
Some of the stories we
One
had.
story I do want to share before we keep going is, do you remember we were sitting at Rod's house and we having pizza, we chilling. This is a Sunday night. By now the offices are supposed to be clean. The employees, by Sunday morning we wanted all the offices clean.
Yes.
And the employees was like, we text everyone, hey, are you guys finished? Yeah, we're done. Sandra and Shanique. They called us. No, they was like, yeah, we're done. We're finished. We got a call 8:30 Sunday night.
Yes.
And they was like, yeah.
And the offices are supposed to be cleaned by Monday morning.
Yeah.
You got to add that.
Yeah. So we got a call Sunday night, and we got a call from two of our employees. They was like, yeah, boss, I'm sorry. We lied. We haven't cleaned any of the offices. They had 8 offices to clean that weekend. We haven't cleaned any of the offices. So we had to get up. We had to leave and get to work.
Yeah.
And then the last office we finished Monday morning at 8:00 a.m. When we were leaving, the doctors and their staff was walking into the office. And at that moment, I knew I don't want to do this no more.
Yeah, we don't want to do it no more. We don't want to do it no more.
What other lessons?
We talked about employees. We talked about having contracts in place.
Another lesson too, just the last lesson, is like you said, we didn't have a clear sales strategy.
Yeah.
And remember, Scott came to us.
Yes.
At the time, he was a sales guru.
Yes.
He was crushing it in sales for Lopez, and he was like, "Hey guys, I feel like I can help you. I can add value." And we was equity hoarders.
Yeah.
We didn't want. He said, "Hey guys, give me 10% of the business. I'll come in and I can guarantee you guys X amount of sales." And for us, we just thought we knew it all, and we was like, "Yeah, we don't need the help. We got it all covered. We got it all figured out." But I think if we would have brought them in, we would have been able to grow the business much better, much faster, and we would have had somebody who could have focused in on sales while we focus on operations and other parts of the business.
You talk about the biggest lesson that we have not touched on yet. You talking about equity hoarders. We were equity hoarders, but to the wrong person.
Yes.
We were equity hoarders to the wrong person.
Yeah.
It was 4 of us. You, me, Lopez, and Parker.
Yep.
And the reason, so Lopez was the strategic person, the person that was going to bring strategy and vision to the organization. Me and Josh were the workers, and then we had somebody, his name was, I'm gonna just call him Parker. He had a whole bunch of relationship with dentists that we thought we was going to leverage his relationships and easily go out and get customers. So we gave him 25% of the business.
Yep.
But we didn't give him clear direction. We just said, "Hey, listen, you're going to be the person that gets us customers." We relied solely on him, and we gave him 25%. We ain't have nothing in place. We ain't have nothing in place to say, "Hey, listen, if you want this equity, if you want 25% of this company, then you need to give us X amount of. You need to make sure that we get X amount of customers. You need to make sure of this, because you think about it. He only gave us 2 customers.
The first 2
we had. That was it.
Vallejo and Dr. I forget his guy.
Merkowitz.
Yep.
Dr. Merkowitz and Dr. Vallejo. Those was the only 2. No, and also Dr. Newman. He gave us 3.
Yep.
Gave us
Dr.
3.
Newman. Yep.
Those was the only 3 customers he gave us out of all of the customers we had, and he had 25% of the equity.
Yeah.
And luckily for us, we had the right people in our life that after 3-4 months into the business, we went to Lopez and, "Hey man, listen, we don't feel right about this. You know, we're doing all of the work, we're doing everything,
Yep.
and Parker, he's not bringing us customers. We thought that's why we brought him into the business. We brought him into the business to bring us customers, and we getting all the customers. How should we handle this? How should we remove him from the company?" And we had to end up buying him out.
Yep.
We had to buy him out of the company because it just wasn't working. It wasn't what we thought it was going to be. I think that's one of the biggest lessons.
Correct.
Going back, knowing what you know now, what would you have done different with Dr. Clean?
One, like I said, I would have definitely hired sooner than what we did. You know, I think for two cleaners, the capacity was for them to clean 10 offices. We didn't start hiring till we was 15, 20 offices in. So we doing sales and marketing. We're cleaning the office, and then we're trying to bring somebody in and to a. We got chaos because we started with chaos.
Yeah.
That was solely on us. We waited too late to hire. I think we should have started hiring when we was at office number 7 or 8.
Yeah.
And one of the key lessons is hiring before you actually need, the employee, because you want to bring them into an environment of where they can grow, and then that you can give them the proper training. What would you say? What would you do differently?
I would, two things. Number one, I would have spelled out that agreement better with Parker, because it would have put money in our pocket. I kept money in our pocket. We didn't have to buy him out or gave him some type of phantom equity. Hey, you get this amount of equity once we get this amount of customers that you've provided for us.
Yeah.
Because that's the whole thing. That's number one. The second thing that I would have done differently is not been an equity hoarder.
Yeah.
If we would have brought Scott into that, this guy is a sales machine. Like, this guy can sell. And any business, you need a great salesperson. You need somebody that, not only because some businesses, they generate leads for the salespeople. This is a guy, he generates his own leads. He takes pride in it. He generates his own leads and he closes them. That's something that he takes pride in. So just bring him in to do the sales for us and help us. We would have grew much faster than what we did. I think we grew really well. But then it got to a point where we just got tired of the business. We went to Lopez one day. We was complaining.
It wasn't even we went to him. It was just he was teaching us how to run business. So we was having a Q1 strategy meeting. What are we going to do this quarter? So we're having a strategy meeting, and we're sitting there. We're talking to him, and he just stopped us, and he was like, "Guys, you hate this business."
Yeah.
It's like, huh? He said, "Guys, you hate this business. You don't hear what you guys are saying."
Yeah.
And at that point, this is when we got exposed to the opportunity to sell the business. At that point, we never knew we could sell a business because we never saw that wasn't even in our radar. That wasn't in our wheelhouse.
We had never heard or seen anybody. You think about, we didn't even read about that back then because we wasn't reading about selling the company.
So, when he came to us and he was like, "Hey guys, let's go ahead and sell the business," and you think about it, he provided the resources. He gave us Mr. Cohen's number.
Yep.
And he was like, "Hey guys, this guy sold some businesses for me. He's helped me before in the past. Reach out to him, and he's going to help you guys sell. He's going to help you guys sell the business."
Yeah. And then we sold the business, but you think about the lessons that we learned even selling the business.
Yep.
With that whole process, we sold the business for way less than what we could have because we had an offer.
Yeah.
You think about it, the offer that we had was 4 or 5 times more than what we actually sold the business for.
Correct.
It was actually 4 to 5. That never even set in.
But then too, when we sold the business, the key, like, we learned so many lessons within that itself, which is when you start a business, you need to, from day one, you need to be setting it up so that you can sell it.
Yeah.
Meaning you need processes and procedures. You need to hire the right people. You need to make sure that business can operate without you.
Yeah.
So that was, I think, one of the biggest lessons that we've learned from having Dr. Clean.
Yeah.
Like, day one, setting that business up so that we could prepare for X, even if we're thinking about selling or not. But when people buy a business, they want to buy. It's like buying a franchise. People buy franchises because it's a proven model.
Yeah.
Hey, here's the operating system. Here's the operating procedures. Here's how you do this. Here's how you do that. Here's the type of equipment that you need, so on and so forth. We didn't have any of that. But when we got when we was getting ready to sell the business, I remember we would spend long hours putting together everything, the equipment list, the materials, how we hired people, how we found people, how we paid people. We had to put all that together. So that was a great exercise.
My boy, you ain't fumbling today. You helping me remember everything. I forgot about that loan and that time we had to do all of that.
My boy, because you keep talking, you got to stop talking. Split your Let's jump to the next business, man.
The next business, the last one we're going to profile today is House Hogs. House Hogs.
I forgot all about that.
The House Hogs. I ain't forget about it.
Let's quickly tell the audience what was House Hogs.
So House Hogs is so we had sold Dr. Clean, and then we got started investing into real estate. And when we got started into investing into real estate, we had this idea that because we started doing internet marketing with this guy, and he he would generate leads for our real estate business, and we had a lot of success doing marketing online. And other people were seeing our success. They come to us, hey guys, can we use your guy? Can we work with you guys? We want to start doing marketing online. And like us, when we see an opportunity, we going after it. We're like, you know what? Let's start a company. So we went to the guy and we told him, hey man, listen, this has been working out for us. We want to offer this to the masses. We want to start a company. We came up with the name, which I really like. He actually came up with the name House Hogs. And the idea was we were going to do the internet marketing for real estate companies. We were going to generate leads for distressed buyers for other for other real estate investors throughout the country. We probably put like 3,000 into the company. That was for the operating agreement. That was for the logo, the logo, to buy the domain. We put like 3,000 into it. And we was off and running.
Yep.
That was House Hogs, internet marketing company for real estate investors.
Yep. And then and early on we had some success. We were signing up customers.
Yeah, we were signing up customers. We had people that were signing up. We was building out websites. We was doing marketing for people. And then things took a turn.
So let's jump into it. But even before we talk about the terms, what lessons that we learned from House Hogs? So what lessons did we learn from House Hogs?
Now, I think the lesson is in the story, telling people how it took a turn. The reason why that business took a turn was because our partner at the time, in order to be a great internet marketer, we learned that you have to know the business, the inside and out of the business that you're marketing for. And the reason why you want to know that is because you need to know how the customer is going to search for you online.
Yep.
So we taught him how to wholesale. We taught him how to fix and flip, thinking that he was just going to focus solely on doing right by our customers and focusing on our customers. So he gets into the business, we're signing up customers, and before you know it, we stop getting leads in our business.
Yeah.
We're like, hold on, why we ain't getting no leads? 1 month go by. And mind you, at the time we was doing $100,000 a month in revenue, and we just completely like just 1 month.
That's just that was in the wholesale and fix and flip business.
Yes, wholesale and fix and flip business. Yep. Thank you. We're doing $100,000, and then August comes. Like no leads at all, like none whatsoever. We're like, what? So we asking the guy, like, yo, what's happened to the leads? What happened to the business? He was like, oh man, something changed with Google, whatever. We believed him. September come around again, no leads at all. And I'm talking about at this time we're spending $5,000-$6,000 a month in marketing to get leads. We're getting leads and then it just shut off. No leads in August, like zero. Probably 2 leads in September, and we was like, yo, something ain't up. Josh told me, because I'm in charge of marketing for our companies. He came to me like, listen, if we don't get no leads in October, we're cutting it, and we're finna go start cold calling, and we're finna start doing text messaging. I call the guy, say, listen, man, you need to. We ain't get no leads. If October is the same month as it was in August and September, we cutting it. All of a sudden, I told him we cutting it. We start getting leads.
Yep.
We started getting leads, and it's crazy how everything worked out. I think it was the 3rd lead that we started to get in October. They called us and they said, hey man, listen, I'm on a contract with somebody and something's not right. I just don't like this guy. Something just doesn't feel right. I need to figure out how I can get out of the contract. I said, okay, well, I don't know if you can get out the contract, but send it to me. I'll look it over for you. I looked over the contract and I see the guy's name who we was in business with. One of the founders, one of the people that work with us and House Hogs, his company name was on the contract.
Was the buyer for the contract.
He was the buyer for the contract. Yep. So I'm like, wait. You know when you in the movie when you like, this can't be true, and you watching the movie, you're like, idiot, it is so true. I was the idiot. Like, nah, this can't be true. I go in Josh's office. I'm like, Josh, this is his name, right? He was like, yeah, but nah, he would never do that. And then I went on the Sunbiz, which is where you can go to see who owns the company. I go on the Sunbiz, I look up the company, the LLC name, and our partner's name was right there. I'm like, nah, man, this ain't happening. So I called the homeowner back and I said, when is the guy coming back out there? He's going to be here in about 15-20. I say, perfect. One of our good friends, shout out to Mo. He lived around the corner from the property. I said, bro, go to this house. I need you to sit there for like 15 minutes and tell me if you see this guy and it's in this car. I described the guy in the car to Mo, and Mo was waiting there for 15 minutes. 12 o'clock hit. Mo called me. He ain't here yet. 12:05 hit. I said, bro, please, please. I need to know this. 12:10. He's like, bro, I'm about to leave. I said, bro, just give me 2 more minutes. 2 more minutes go by. He called me, say, bro, you're not gonna believe this. The same guy that you described in the same car is here. And that was confirmation for me because you think about it. I didn't believe it when I saw it on the contract. Yep. I didn't believe it when I saw it on Sunbeds. And Mo sent us a video of the guy. And then after that, the company imploded when we called them out because essentially the way that we looked at it was he stole $300,000 from us. Yeah. Not like physically stole it, but we were making $100,000 a month for just 3 months. We ain't just from that one marketing source. And not having that marketing source, the way that we looked at it, yes, all of our marketing dollars went down the drain. And somebody would say, if you're spending $5,000 a month, he only took $15,000. But to us, it was really a $300,000 loss because we ain't have no leads and no business.
And that was the only marketing source we had at the time.
That was the only marketing source at the time, which leads us to a lesson. Yep. Tell us about the lesson.
So the first lesson there is, even before we talk about the loss, I want to say the lesson from the company is we didn't date him. We just said, hey, he's doing good for us. Let's go ahead and let's just jump into business with him and get going. And guys, what I mean when I say date him, I look at business like talking to the opposite sex, whether it's a female or male, whoever. So for us, if I'm talking to a girl, before I can get in bed with her, before we take that next steps, you got to date. I got to get to know her, what she like, what she don't like, her mood, her attitude. Damn, her breath be stank sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You need to see all that. We ain't do none of that. Only outside, like we jumped into bed with like how if you see a bad girl, you just like, oh, I need her. Boom, I'm jumping into bed, and that was our mindset. We didn't date him at all, so we didn't know exactly who he was. We just knew, okay, he knows how to generate leads. Yeah. We knew nothing else about him. Yeah. That was a big lesson for us. What would you say is another lesson?
Another lesson. Making him sign a non-compete, saying that he's not able to do the business. Yep. We should have had it. We had an operating agreement, but in the operating agreement, we did not clearly spell out that he is not allowed to do any wholesaling or fixing and flipping as long as we had this company. Facts. If we would have had that, we would have had some type of protection. Because remember, when we found out about it all and when everything went down, we called a couple of attorneys trying to sue the guy, trying to do all of this. And they was like, hey, where's the non-compete? Yeah. Where did you guys spell out that said he could not do this? Facts. You spelled out everything else, but you didn't spell out that he couldn't do this. So that was a huge lesson for us if we had that non-compete. Facts. We would have had another $300 in our pocket. But, big learning lesson, something that we can give to the audience as one of our testimonies. Because that, at the time, boy, we were stressed out.
I wanted to beat him.
I did too. Take it to the third, like, yeet, yeet, yeet. But huge lesson there. Knowing what you know now, what would you have done different with House Hogs?
I would say, number one, like from the lesson, is just dating him longer, understanding who he was, what he wanted out of life, understanding his morals, his values, his ethics, asking more detailed questions. Because even when we approached him about it, he didn't think he was doing nothing wrong. Yeah. He didn't think he did nothing wrong.
You're right.
So I'm just like, damn, like that I take responsibility, or we need to take responsibility for that. That was solely on us. What would you do differently?
So, but one of the things we can't put I put the blame on him for his actions because I believe in accountability. But one of the things that we did that we messed up on was we were paying him. Remember, before we started House Hogs, we were paying him we was paying him $5,000 per deal that we closed, which was crazy at the time. It was crazy. Like our mentor told us, you guys are nuts. You guys are paying him way too much. What happens if a deal is only $3,000? You guys are taking a loss. When we started House Hogs, we said, hey, listen, our company is going to be one of the customers of the business. And because we're one of the customers of the business, we're going to pay the business just like any other customer would. Yeah. He agreed to it. And yes, we were bringing in customers, but it still wasn't what he was used to, which was $15,000, $20,000, $25,000 a month that he was bringing in from our business. Yeah. So we told him, we changed up his pay structure. Yeah. And once we changed up his pay structure, that's when everything started to go south. Yeah. We got to take some accountability for what happened. For sure. Because I just had that thought, and that's what I wrote down. Like, damn, we should have paid him more. If we took away the $5,000, we should at least give him more of a salary or give him more than what we gave him. Because I think that probably led him to do what he did. Yeah. But also, if you're a bad person, you're a bad person. There's no way, no ifs, ands, or buts around that. So
what else about House Hogs? Anything else?
It's a great business if you do it the right person. got high margins.
Yeah.
Everything it got great margins.
Yeah.
Everything about that business is good. It's a really internet marketing agencies. Those agency businesses are really good business.
Yep.
Out of all the businesses that we started, and if we can go back and do a business,
The margins were sexy.
if we can go back and do a business, I would definitely go back and start an internet marketing company.
Facts.
So,
Nah, man. I think that's it, man. This was a great show, great episode. Many more lessons to come. I definitely want to do an episode about the bad investments that we've made.
oh no, we definitely gonna
wanna
do
one
it
on that,
because
so.
we've lost we've lost over 700 at this point in like all the bad
Probably
investments.
close to $1 million.
Yeah, so we definitely gonna do an episode about that. But these were actual businesses that we started. We were actual partners in these companies, and we wanted to share this experience with you guys to help you guys understand that you see us now.
Yep.
You didn't see us do all of the struggles and all of the pains, and it was even more stories that we could have highlighted, but we didn't. So just know that if you're going through something right now, just keep going, because on the other side of that is your reward. But you got in order to get to the peak, you got to go through the valleys, and we just shared some of our valleys with you.
Yeah, and for me, I always say, man, there's purpose behind the pain. When you're going through something,
Yeah.
there's purpose behind that. You don't know why when you're going through it. It may feel bad when you're going through it, but just understanding that, hey, on the other side of this, there's going to be purpose. There's going to be greatness. There's going to be glory. There's going to be somebody that you can help from the things that you've been through.
Yeah. So
let's wrap it.
All right, guys, make sure you like, subscribe on YouTube. You leave us a review. Please give us a review on the show. We greatly appreciate it. And that's it. Episode 2. We're out.
Hey, man, thank you guys so much for tuning in, for watching. Make sure you guys share, like, subscribe, leave us review, all that good stuff, man. We really, really appreciate it. And just help us continue to spread our mission, spread our word that exposure leads to expansion. Peace.
Peace.